Welcome. It's Facts You Don't Know. If it's your first time here and you want to find out new facts that will definitely make you smarter and more, and first make sure to subscribe and activate the notification bell so you don't miss anything.
Remember the judge who recognized the defendant as a classmate. This is how his life turned out after the meeting. A judge who shot to fame after she remembered an intimate as a former student in her courtroom has met the man again, but this time with an embrace after he was released from jail. Miami-Dade Judge Mindy Glazer was on hand to welcome Arthur both on Tuesday when he was released from jail after 10 months of service. The couple had previously met in her courtroom last year, when she remembered both as her middle school classmate, as he appeared to face burglary charges before her. The video from their emotional encounter was viewed millions of times worldwide. "Did you go to middle school at Nautilus?" Glazer asked both, 49, for a comment. "Oh, my dream, oh, my pick, oh, my goodness," as he went from a sporting grin to a stream of tears, all the intimate could think. "I'm sorry to see you, and I always wondered what happened to you," Glazer told Booth. She told the court, "This was the nicest kid in middle school. He was the best kid in middle school. I used to play football with him. Look what has happened." The old classmates met once again after Booth was released from jail on a court program. His family and the judge stood by waiting to greet him as he walked out of jail after serving 10 months, CBS Miami reported. Video of the heartwarming moment shows Booth smiling from ear to ear as he first hugged his family members and then moved on to give Glazer a huge hug. "Take care of your family, try to get a job, stay clean," Glazer told Booth. "You're going to do something good for somebody else." "You better believe it, you better believe it," Booth replied. He shared that his old classmate is a huge inspiration to him. "She's an inspiration and a motivation to me right now. Mindy is incredible," Booth told CBS Miami. "'Cause I know where I could have been, but I'm not giving up on life. It's just a new lease on life for me right now." He had a good judge who wanted to give him a chance, Glazer stated. "This is a group effort to see you succeed. Don't let us down." "I won't, I promise not to," he replied. In addition, Booth told CBS Miami that he owes a lot to both his lawyer and the prosecutor as well. As part of a plea bargain, Booth was sentenced to 10 years probation, NBC Miami reported. As part of his guilty plea, he will not face any more prison time but will have to spend time in a drug rehab clinic, his lawyer told NBC Miami. If he violates probation, Booth could be sent back to prison as a suspended sentence has been handed in. Family members reported to Daily Mail Online that Booth, a once ambitious student dreaming to become a neurosurgeon, had spent much of his adult life behind bars. An addiction to crack cocaine and gambling led him into a life of petty crime as he pursued cash desperately for a fast fix. This has meant that since he was 17, Booth has been in and out of jail, squandering the possibility of a normal life or future he once had hoped for. If it had not been for Arthur's addictions to gambling and drugs, he would not be where he is, said his cousin Melissa Myler in an exclusive interview with Daily Mail Online last year. That has been his downfall. He's not a violent person and has not hurt anyone, but to feed his addictions he always needed money, and it was easier to steal. He has been the architect of his own downfall and made a lot of mistakes. Everyone in the family now hopes that appearing before his old classmate and the shame he felt will be the wake-up call. "We just hope that he can move on from this and start his life over." Booth was being held at the Metro West Detention Center in Miami on charges of burglary and fleeing from police. He had only been out of prison for 7 months when he was arrested on the latest charges last year. More than 35 years ago, prison wasn't on the horizon when Booth was handpicked to attend Nautilus Middle School after achieving outstanding grades at the William Bryant Elementary School. His mother Hilda and stepfather Friswell were delighted to have picked their son, the eldest of 3 children, to go what was considered one of the best schools in Miami in the late 1970s. Members of the family said Arthur had taught himself Spanish and excelled in math and science. "We always knew that Arthur was something extraordinary because he was born on his right hand with 6 fingers," said his Aunt Betty Knight. "He was such a cute boy, so tenacious and always keen on improving. He really was really bright, and when he was selected to go to Nautilus, his parents were delighted. Arthur will take a 30-minute bus ride from his home in North Miami to the school in Miami Beach and have earned excellent grades according to family members. He seemed to be an honor-roll student bound for college and a good career." Booth first encountered Mindy Glaser at Nautilus, who lived in Biscayne Bay with her parents and her brother Stephen. At first she decided to be a veterinarian. Then after visiting her married cousin and her husband in New York, where he was a defense lawyer. Records in court indicates he was jailed for grand theft at the age of 18. In the 1980s, he was addicted to smoking cocaine out of jail and out of work. It just took over his life. He didn't have a job, so the only way to get money was to steal. He would break into warehouses or empty homes. He was never violent to anyone. He just needed money quick, and that was how he got it. While many U.S. cities were blighted by the cocaine epidemic, Miami, as the gateway for the drug from the South American drug cartels, was awash with the white powder. Booth was in the grip of the drug and spent months in prison after being arrested at least 3 times for possession. Arthur didn't want to help himself and turned away from those who loved him the most, said a family member who asked not to be named. People tried to get him help, but it was a downward spiral. He needed money to pay for drugs and he could only get that from dealing or stealing. Nothing anyone said to him made a difference. It was a desperate time back in the 1980s when so many people were on crack. In 1988, at the age of 22, Booth was jailed for 20 years on burglary and theft charges. According to his cousin Melissa, he spent 10 years behind bars before being released on parole. That year, Glaser passed her own personal milestone. She graduated from the University of Miami with a BA in Arts. She then studied law at St. Thomas University School of Law, graduating DD, specializing in tax law. In 1991, when she was admitted to the Florida bar and started her own practice. At first, she said in a profile of her judicial career in Daily Business Review, "I wanted to do criminal tax litigation, but I really liked estate planning." She went back to law school and got a master's degree in estate planning. Age 32, Booth was released and tried to find work, but as a convicted felon, found it hard. The one upside of prison was that he was able to kick his drug addiction, but his weakness for gambling remained. Within a year, he was arrested on burglary charge and returned to prison to serve out the remainder of his sentence. In 1997, at the age of 31, he was on work release duty with other inmates helping to clean trash from the roads around Miami. Despite nearing the end of his sentence, Booth fled from the work details and went on the run. Family members hid him and he remained free for almost 2 months until he was caught while attending a Miami Heat basketball game. Around the same time, the year 2000, Glaser became a judge. Over the last 15 years, Booth has been in and out of prison. He was last released in December 2014 and found work with a construction company before being arrested in July of 2015.
Thanks for watching. please like and share the video in social networks. We'll be right back to you as fast as we can.